Hello and welcome to another Legacy Travel Top 5 video. This time I'm not in it. The subject's going to be destination wedding locations. I know nothing about that. But the three agents that are doing this video, they're going to do a great job for you. So I hope you really enjoy the video.
Hello and welcome to Legacy Travel's Top 5. Normally if you've watched these videos, you've seen us in front of the large table, the glass of water, ready to start. However, lately Legacy Travel has been on a puzzle kick. So far we finished 2 puzzles on our free time and we're currently working on our third, which happens to be 2,000 pieces and it's a map of the world. So there's puzzle pieces all over that table at the moment. So you just get us today. Today we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite wedding venues in Cancun and the Riviera Maya. I will start, and then Jessica, this is Jessica. She's normally in our Chicago office, but she's visiting us from the Windy City, and she's here for the whole month of February. And then this is Miss Leslie, and I'm Hannah. Alright, so I'm going to start with my number 5, and just in case you haven't watched before, we do not discuss this beforehand, so these are all new to all of us. So my number 5 is going to be the terrace at the Royalton Riviera Cancun. I particularly love this property because it offers 3 different sections, so it's perfect for a bride and groom that are looking for something that's going to be more adult friendly because they have an adult section, but also allows children. They have a family section. And then they also have a preferred section called their Diamond Club, which gives you butler service. So it's an upgraded experience for those that maybe want to spend a little more and upgrade their room. But the terrace is lovely. It overlooks the beach and the ocean, so it makes for a more intimate ceremony with really, really beautiful pictures. And this resort also qualifies in my budget weddings, so it's a really, really great option if you don't want to spend a ton on your wedding but want a really, really beautiful, beautiful day.
Cool. That's actually on my list. It's a little bit higher up though, so that's okay. My number 5 is the Dreams Tulum Secret Garden. So it's very special. It's super private. It's not one that you'll think about when you think of Riviera Cancun because it is a garden. So it's super lush, it's super private. I'm not doing it justice, so go on Google and just type Dreams Tulum Secret Garden and you'll see what I mean.
It is really pretty and it can accommodate a lot of people, especially if you have a large wedding party.
So my number 5 is also Dreams Tulum, not the Secret Garden, on the beach actually. One of our colleagues got married there a couple years ago, so we actually got to witness it firsthand. It was just fantastic. The wedding coordinators are amazing, so quick to respond. They also actually just renovated, I think, a couple of the buildings on site as well. They made an adults-only building as well, so if you do have, families that are traveling, but then also the adult travelers coming, it's a family-friendly resort with adults-only buildings. So it's really nice. It's got a really Mexican hacienda feel to it, and it prices extremely well. So that's number 5 on my list.
Jessica, why don't you start us with number 2?
Number 2?
I mean 4. Sorry.
Alright, so my number 4 is, I wanted to throw in a chapel on my list. And my favorite one is the one at Generations. It's brand new, super spacious, and my favorite thing about it is it has an air conditioner, which most chapels don't have. And it actually opens up to the beach, so you get some really cool photos and videos when you're off.
And air conditioner is really important, especially if you're having a summer wedding.
Yeah.
And what about you, Leslie?
So my number 4 was the Royalton Riviera Cancun. I really love the sky terrace that they do, but also they have this really crazy looking, they call it a gazebo. I think it's their chapel on site. But it's this, and I don't even know how to explain it exactly, it's this very odd shape in the middle of the resort, but then it overlooks the water and the beach, so it's just gorgeous. My favorite thing to do with brides and grooms is have the wedding there or on the beach, and then the reception at the Sky Terrace. So that way you're getting different venues for the entire thing. Also, like Hannah said, it prices extremely well. The family-friendly section is huge. The adults-only section is a little smaller. So if brides and grooms don't want to, stay in the family-friendly section the whole time and then maybe upgrade for their honeymoon portion, it's just so easy to do and you don't really have to move far.
Absolutely. My number 4 is going to be the gazebo at Secrets Playa Paris. This would be an adults-only venue option. The really great thing about Secrets, before I launch into the location, is that there's a Dreams Playa Mujeres right next door. So if you have an adults-only wedding but have a few children that maybe their parents can't find babysitters, they can hire a babysitter at the Dreams Resort, and the adults can come over for your ceremony. So, you know, Aunt Jane and Uncle Joe don't have to miss the wedding because they can't find a sitter for their 12-year-old. But the gazebo is really, really beautiful. It can hold a lot of people. It's actually on a concreted area next to the main pool. So the gazebo itself doesn't have anything in the background except for beach and ocean, and it's an elevated view. And it's completely open, and you can actually do, you know, your wedding setup there along with a cocktail hour right to the side of it because of the large area. And there's palm trees all over the place as well. So it's a really, really great venue option for sure. Leslie, what about your number 3?
So my number 3 is called the Excellence Playa Mujeres. It's in the same general area that Hannah was just talking about. It's also adults only. I've had a couple of very successful weddings with them, but they're just so easy to work with, which is what I judge a good wedding on a lot of times, the wedding coordinator on site. Gorgeous beach. The beaches in Playa Mujeres are just very pristine, very spacious. The water's really calm, and I just really love that resort. It's got a really nice, almost like Caribbean tropical chic feel to it. So just a very modern appeal, but it is a gorgeous property.
So it's already been mentioned. I already told you it was on my list, so you all know it's coming. But it's going to be the Royalton Sky Terrace. I recently saw it, and I did not realize how long the runway was to get to the end of it. So you're walking down, you know, you start reminiscing about memories, and gives you enough time if you don't really like that person to, you know, come off the wedding. But it's a gorgeous walkway. It's super long, and the views are great. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
So my number 3 is going to be the pier at Generations Riviera Cancun. It's actually one of only 2 hotels that has a pier where you can get married in that area, and it can accommodate quite a few people, and it's absolutely breathtaking. It goes out over the water, and so it's just beautiful. If you want something different, maybe not your normal beach ceremony, and you don't want to pay the additional for a sky wedding, the pier, and they actually have their wedding package specifically for it. It's just absolutely beautiful. And Generations, if you aren't familiar with it, Google it. It's right next to the El Dorado Casitas Royale and the El Dorado Royale. So you have many different options for your guests. Generations is a family-friendly hotel. However, the 2 El Dorado properties next door are adults only, and they have exchange privileges for the adults that are staying at all 3 properties. So wonderful, wonderful option. The other thing that I really like about Generations is that they not only offer 1-bedroom suites, but they have the option for 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom suites, and they're all oceanfront. Alright, so I'll start with number 2, and my number 2 is also Generations, and it's the Sky Wedding location. It's really, really hard to beat a sky wedding location anywhere because all you have is the sky above and the beach in front of you, and it's just beautiful. And I already told you why I love Generations, so that's my number 2. Leslie, what about you?
My number 2 is Dreams Riviera Cancun. It's a little more kind of nestled right between Cancun and Playa del Carmen, so you're more secluded, but you have both cities very closer by if you want to go downtown either way. They have this really cool area by the pool where they can set up the reception, and this almost like wooden walkway in the beach that they can set up the ceremony there. Just a fabulous hotel. It's just a very compact resort, I would say. So very easy to get around. They have these garden views with the little private pools in the bottom. Not technically swim up, I believe, but just a really fun property. And it is family friendly, being a Dreams. Because it's not as far from the airport, I really enjoy it too, because guests coming from all over, you know, the transfer is really easy, the time to get there is really easy, but then again, the wedding coordination team, the resort, the weddings they set up are just fantastic.
I agree. Okay. This is number 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to Mexico. You probably want a beach wedding. The best beach in the Riviera Maya is going to be Roma. So my number 2 is Secrets for that beach.
Yeah, it's a beautiful beach.
Yeah.
It has what we call air-conditioned sand, where you can walk on the sand and it's not hot. like if you've ever been to a beach in the States, the sand is always hot. Well, that sand is not only pure white, but it is like air conditioned.
Yes.
It's awesome.
You'll have a good time. You don't want to come home. One thing that you were mentioning about the Sky Terrace, I forgot to say, but the Royalton Sky Terrace is shaded, which is what I like. Most of them are. So this one, your guests don't have to sweat too much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, number 1, Jess.
I'm starting number 1. Okay. It's at the Hyatt Ziva, which is at a really nice location just on the corner of the peninsula, and they have a lawn gazebo that's a little bit elevated, so it's overlooking sweeping views of the ocean, and it's private. It's super private. You're not going to get people walking on the beach or any photo bombers or anything like that. So it's super private. It's shaded with a private room at least, and then just sweeping views of the ocean. So that's my number.
It's a really, really pretty one.
And you can wear heels.
Yes.
You can wear heels.
Very, very pretty.
Don't have to worry about toes in the sand.
So I struggled with this one. I went back and forth between Secrets Maroma and Secrets Aquamal, which essentially they're set up relatively similarly, the properties are. I got engaged at Secrets Aquamal, and I think that the beach there is probably one of the best I've ever seen in Mexico. The water is so clear, you can just snorkel with these big sea turtles that swim around in there. And the beach is just, it's huge, and the sand is very, very white. Just a really nice resort to have a beach wedding, as I'm sure you can tell, I like the beach wedding idea. I love Sky Terraces, but I just love a beach wedding if you're going to Mexico. But then Secrets Maroma has this really cool gazebo on the beach too, where you could do the beach wedding, but then just walk on over and set up the reception. So I really struggle. Those are kind of tied for number 1, and because they're so similar, I don't know. Those are my number
That's
ones.
cheating.
Sorry, they're both so
Whatever.
pretty though.
Yeah.
They're both so
Can't go
pretty.
wrong.
So my number 1 has already been mentioned, and it's the beach location at Dreams Tulum. You can't get any more private than the beach location there, and that is why I made my number 1. A beach ceremony is really hard because a bride, normally you picture in your mind just this serene setting where there's nobody in the background, but the truth is, and the reality is, there are people on vacation there, and they can't stop people from swimming in the ocean and from walking in the background behind your beautiful venue. And thank goodness for Photoshop, but I mean, it can definitely be distracting, especially if you're getting married during peak wedding time, April to August. So just something to keep in mind. The beach location at Dreams Tulum is off to the far right side of the hotel. There's not another hotel on the other side of it. So all you have on the other side is beach and then a rocky area that kind of jets out into the ocean. And they post a little security guard kind of right by the wayside. And usually people are so respectful just because there's not so much going on down there. So if you want a beach location, you want it to be more on the private side, I strongly recommend it. Like Leslie said, one of our lovely coworkers, Tara, who's also a destination wedding agent here, she got married there, and the setup was beautiful. She had her ceremony, and then they took the chairs away. We had a cocktail hour there with cocktail tables, and then the reception was just over behind it on the beach as also. So it was all right there in that one little spot. And then later after dinner, they brought in the DJ floor, and we had a dance party. So it was a lot of fun. If you can't tell, we're all really passionate about weddings. We have other destination wedding agents in our office also, and all of the locations that you heard about today, we're passionate about because we personally have worked with them and sell those properties, and we feel very confident recommending them to our brides and grooms. We look forward to working with you. Thank you for joining us.